All right, everyone, jumping into the top props for this Saturday on PrizePicks and Underdog. So yesterday's bet of the day went 1 for 2, and it was very annoying because it seemed like Russell Henley was going to win it kind of easily, and well, not easily, but win it. And then Adam Svensson, who he was going against, gets a birdie on 18. They were tied going into that, and I say should have gotten it. He lost 2 strokes putting again yesterday. 2 bad days of putting for Russell Henley, and he was still able to make the cut. It's kind of very rare. He one of the best players in the field. That felt very unlucky to not get that. And then that being said, just touching on this, another unlucky outcome for me yesterday was Scoot Henderson getting injured in the middle of that Summer League game. Thus, this bet did not hit, which was pretty unfortunate. But I want to call out that I do think we do have some edges in Summer League. I think there is some nice, strong spots, kind of specifically because we have a bunch of bets that we are going to see some discrepancies. I went ahead and called out this one on the 9 to 5 Discord chat that Derek Lively, his PrizePicks line opened up at 12.5. It has since dropped down to 10.5. But the reason why I want to call this out is because I updated another tool here. We can see this is already down to 10.5 here. Underdog has set at 9.5. So I want to call that out. Like, one of those lines, we're going to be different. And then we also have seen that happen now with Chet Holmgren as well. Both of those lines started out smaller than what they currently are. So it does seem to be a little bit of edge there. And just while we're at it, I mean, real quick, Summer League, I would say Scoot Henderson looks far and beyond kind of the best rookie. He looks like someone that if Damian Lillard does get traded, I don't want to say could like be a borderline all-star, but it kind of feels that way. Kind of like LaMelo Ball, his rookie year. It kind of seems like that with Scoot Henderson, whereas like the other two, you know, that went before him, they weren't drafted to be the best player this year. You know, let's just put it that way. Victor had himself a really good game, I thought, yesterday. And I know you guys aren't here to get that take, but I was actually impressed with him. He was just a little bit soft, which just comes to muscle mass. Once he puts some muscle on, I get the hype. Let's put it that way. But let's go on and get into the top picks for today. So we are going to use kind of the NBA cheat sheet here. Now, it is programmed to be loaded based off the Underdog lines because I noticed that they have a little bit more available throughout the day. Right now, though, when I look at this, we don't have that many available just yet. Actually, we do. Let me refresh that. All right. Very good. Let me refresh this. And while that data is loading on my end, obviously you guys won't see it once the video is uploaded, but I want to call it the Twitter threads as well. It's not Twitter threads, just thread. Make sure to give this a follow, guys. It should be linked in the description below. I had about 13 people follow yesterday. Let's get that number up a little bit more. I called out a bunch of kind of awesome props on there yesterday, which is just, I think I'm going to use the threads that way, which is just kind of highlighting my favorite props and whatnot. I might use Twitter as more fantasy golf, this as more prop-based content, just because I like that. And a lot of these hit pretty easily. And darn it, this is actually going to be one of the props that are popping up again today. Marcus here for hitting fantasy score. He cost me a really awesome payout for the free slip 2 days ago. But we'll see. But yeah, I kind of want to go about using this in that regard. So like yesterday, I kind of mentioned that I'd be posting some props that I like. Most of these hit. Make sure to give that a look. But all right, yes, here we go. We got a bunch of props here. Let's see where we're getting the biggest price. Take it out. I have the big 3 being pulled in here right now because I want to add that in eventually. And so I'll probably do that. But just to get the PrizePicks lines, we can see. All right, so Walker here. PrizePicks has the line set at 13.5. Underdog has the line set at 15.5. Given the fact that we have seen PrizePicks adjust their lines kind of twice now, I would think that Underdog kind of has a better grasp of what the prize or what the line should be. Now, yesterday we did get some player specials. A lot of them were for 15 or 20 points. So let's just see that. We got Jaquez here. Be interesting to see what kind of prop we get for him. I do like Smith. So Smith, we can see here, minus 120 to get 15 plus points. Let's see if we're getting any props for Smith. All right. So that is probably a good line. 16.5. I was hoping that we would get 15.5. But this is kind of the way I've been going about, or yesterday, how I went about kind of attacking this is, you know, using everything that we have available to see whether or not we're getting good props. Like Jaden Ivey plus 20 points is minus 180, plus 25 is plus 120. So like we can see like this, probably the line would be set at like, I don't know, 22.5 probably. So I would say that this is probably a decent one. And as you guys noticed, probably from the slip that I mentioned yesterday, a lot of the players that I was on were players that were in the NBA last year. A lot of those guys have a big advantage. The only question with them is minute. And so given the fact that a lot of these are going to be game ones for these guys, I think the minutes will be there. But we can continue on. Like we can see some props that are going to be available for us on the day, kind of just using that. But getting back into the discrepancies, that's when you can use. And then we have a bunch that are going to be like 1 point differences. Now we are going to have points, rebounds, and assist props probably throughout the day once PrizePicks gets those loaded, and there should be some edges there. Yesterday there were. I do want to mention Nico Mannion. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he was darn impressive yesterday. I'm a Bucks fan. I was watching this game. Pretty darn impressive. Okay, I really enjoyed watching him, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him play well again today. But I do want to call out some other things as well. Like Marjan Beauchamp, he was someone that I felt was very undervalued yesterday. Had a terrible first half and then went off. I'm actually very curious to see if he's going to play at all today. Okay, they sat Wigginton yesterday, the Bucks did, and I would kind of think that they're just going to flip-flop these two. I could see Beauchamp possibly sitting and Lennington starting, and if that occurs, then Lennington would be the one that we'd want to be on. And just simply given the fact that we haven't seen him yet, I would think that he'd go off. Okay, the Bucks are playing back-to-back nights. It doesn't really make sense for a player that's probably going to be in their rotation, Beauchamp. It doesn't really make sense for him to get a lot of minutes back-to-back nights. You know, to me, that doesn't make sense. So I don't really expect Beauchamp to play. Now, if he does, obviously we adjust kind of our thoughts. But if Lennington does sit, and we probably won't get that news prior, like if we do, it's literally going to be 5 minutes before lock, and that's the worry. But I would say Nico would be, he was impressive. I mean, I'm kind of watching Summer League in terms of like which players are standing out, maybe for preseason DFS and whatnot, or like this is just beneficial throughout the season when these players pop up. Then when they're going to get minutes and whatnot, I'd like to have that knowledge. So he is someone that, you know, was impressive. I thought kind of stood out. So he could be a good play. And then just looking at guys like Jordan Goodwin, Akochi, no, I can't even say it. This gentleman right here, he is someone that obviously throughout the season last year was really a good player for them. So like, I really don't mind the overs for Jordan Goodwin. Akachai, I still butchered it. Johnny Davis as well. Johnny Davis is someone that, you know, second-year players started to get minutes at the end of the year last year. Obviously, Benedict Mathurin probably shouldn't be playing in these games, let's be honest. I'm curious to see what his points, rebounds, and assist prop is, given the fact that a lot of them were like 27.5 yesterday, 26.5. If we get that number for him and even someone like Jaden Ivey as well, like those are going to be two that I would really want to go in on. And same thing for Jaden Hardy as well. Like all of those players were players that were really good when they got minutes last year. Okay, so I'd be more than happy to go in and use those guys for points, rebounds, and assists. Now let's go in and use Underdog to kind of determine whether or not we're going to get those props that I'm thinking we're going to get. So right out the back, I don't really like any in the first game, to be honest with you. If you guys do, let us know in the comment section below. I'm fine with that. But yeah, Jaden Hardy, 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So his prop line is set at like 21.5 points. Yeah, if he gets that, it doesn't really take much more for him to get points, rebounds, and assists. That is a prop that I really like. Chet Holmgren, I already have some bets out there, not touching him. Let's continue on. Jaden Ivey. I'm going to assume that Jaden Ivey's is going to be the exact same as Jaden Hardy. No, I think Jaden Hardy, you look at his point per minute, with Luke off the court last year and Kyrie off the court, he was kind of a stud. So I do expect Hardy to go up, but Jaden Ivey, not exactly a stud when at the tail end of the season last year. So I would say it's less of a lock and load. So I would say 27.5. I'm guessing it's going to be there, but we would have to think about it a little bit. I am very curious to see what James Wiseman's will be because, his rebounds is probably going to be set at like 10. And then his assists is probably going to be set at 1. So he is probably someone that will be right at 27.5. I don't know if he's going to get the 16.5 points, but I do know that he is a rebound machine. And I probably do want to be targeting him in some capacity there. And then, yeah, Benedict Mathurin. I mean, this seems like too low of a number for him on Underdog. We can see PrizePicks has it set a little bit higher. So, yeah, I'm betting the over there. Same thing with Jordan Goodwin and Nico Mannion. Like, I like those props on Underdog today. So that's where we're going to be doing it. And like I said earlier, I think that Beauchamp is probably going to sit, and if he does, that's probably going to help out Nico a little bit. And so already kind of like a bet of the day for looking at Underdog would be these ones right here. I think we're getting the best edges here. Obviously throughout the day, this data sheet's going to be updating, and we can make adjustments throughout the day. Okay, so wow. Can you guys tell that I've missed NBA? Jeez. All right. Apologies for that. That was a lot longer than I thought it would be. Let's go ahead and now get into MLB. All right, so WNBA, as you guys know, I don't really like it too much. It kind of is what it is. Let's see if we are getting any differences between PrizePicks and Underdog. It doesn't seem like it just yet, so probably just to stay away. Like, sure, maybe the rebounds here slightly. Okay, on Underdog, probably want to bet the under rebounds for Breanna Stewart, projected at 3.8. So sorry, assist, but no, they have taken that one away, of course, right? So yeah, I mean, nothing really too much for WNBA. Kind of thankfully, I hate being forced into make a WNBA bet. Let's go and take a peek at Esports, and that's nothing against WNBA. It's just the data that is all coming in is just too spread out. Whereas NBA, MLB, and like NFL and whatnot, the data is so pretty much locked in. There's smaller differences, whereas like WNBA, there's so many differences between each sports book. It's kind of rare to see that, and that just shows like a lack of consistency or predictability in the props. All right, so taking a peek at Esports. We have two that we probably would want to make for Valorant, where we can see PrizePicks is probably undervaluing these two. So if we want to go and roll with those for Valorant and CSGO here, we do. Like, anytime, it's a weird thing with esports, because for League of Legends, like, one kill is a big difference there, where like CSGO and also Valorant, one kill is not that much. Like, a one kill difference is not too much. So typically I'll do it more or less when it's two. Now I do want to call it these headshot ones. Those are kind of a lot. Headshots, especially with the smaller number, that is kind of a lot. So if you want to bet the differences there, you could. And what I mean by that is we can run out stacks on PrizePicks and Underdog for these, as long as they're on different teams. So I don't mind doing that with esports, but I just want to see the lines be very different, if that makes sense. All right, so now just real quickly looking at some PGA based props on the day. We are not really getting anything too crazy. It does suggest, though, that PrizePicks is kind of undervaluing a lot of these players. Adam Schenk, 68 strokes, Chris Kirsch, 68 strokes, and Russell Henley, 68 strokes. Russell Henley was a letdown yesterday, okay? If we look at his live strokes gained, which is just going to be taken in his strokes gained total for that tournament thus far, we will see that he is really not playing all too well. He is expected to play better in every single category, especially in putting. And I am fine going back to him, okay? 3 under par should be easy for him. He is one of the best plays in the field. He should be able to do so. So that's a prop that I do think I want to make. Now, Denny McCarthy was a birdie machine yesterday, and man, I don't know. 5.5, the under is kind of calling us there. I kind of like that one, I think. Here's another one, Seamus Power, probably one of the better golfers. I actually don't mind the under here. Just kind of interesting that we're getting these nice lines available for today. All right, so these are giving me my favorite bets for today. Obviously, you guys can choose what you want to do with these. There's a chance that this will be live before this video kind of gets uploaded, or before a lot of people can get in there. Johnny Davis, we probably do want to take the wait and see approach on that one. I could see this line fluctuating up until lineup locks. So sure, if you're making the bet now, go for it. So like, really, if I had to dial it down, I'd probably just go with these two as like my favorite single leg bets. And then if we're really trying to put more MLB based bets out there, we could go Kevin Gausman and James Paxton. Personally, I wish we were getting better hitting fantasy score props, and I do think we will be able to get those throughout the day. We'll have to see. Obviously can't control that. But that's all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. If you did, make sure to give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate, and as always, let's keep cashing.